Hi, it's Jasmin. You know, that girl who did you know what way before the internet ever existed. Join me and my special guest every week as we talk about anything and everything because nothing is too taboo. So punch your ticket and get on board the Krazy train with me, Jasmin St Claire. All aboard!
Thank you so much for joining me. This was like a work. I was like shocked. I'm like, okay, is she going to do the podcast or not? Because I finally caught up with Dark Side of the Ring after all these years.
Oh, gosh. That show. Oh, it was good, but I thought, I said a lot on there that made the Rob look super good, and they didn't put those stories in. And I was really mad about it because I told all these great stories about him and I, like all the time, that he was really cool to me, and they never put it in. And I was like, why didn't they put that in? And it's really good that they didn't.
Of course not. Fine. But I think they did a really good job. Of like whoever the actor was that reenacted him was amazing.
Oh, yeah. Like, he was great. Like, he looked like him. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed doing it. I was nervous. And I was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. And then so Rob told me to do it. Like, Jessica, just do it. I was like, okay, I'll do it. All right, I'll do it. But I was terrified to do it. But it was fun, though. I had a good time. I had fun.
Well, cool. Did you mean what you said, that you'd do it again? That you'd work for him again?
Yeah. Really? I love Rob. That was my greatest time of my whole life. Of all the years that I did porn, it was my greatest time. It was awesome. It was a great time to be there. Like all the good, the bad, in between, it was still the best time to be in the business. It was awesome.
Oh, I agree.
I loved it. Yeah.
The 90s.
I would still do it. The 90s. Oh, the 90s. What a great year. Oh.
Well, that's the whole beauty of this show, is because a lot of people are 90s Tarian, is what I call them. And that's like a whole new political party I invented, 90s Tarian. It's just made up. It just sounds great. And everyone loves it when I bring on people from the 90s. Plus, it's fun for me because we could always compare notes on this stuff, which reminds me, I saw a photo you posted today of Van Damage. Whatever happened to him? Like, did he leave?
Well,
did he die?
I don't know. He had that. I don't know. I cannot be certain. I hope he's still kicking, but I cannot be certain. I know he had a falling out with Extreme. And then Rob called him the creepy peepee, which I don't know. That's what he called him. I don't know why. But I don't know whatever happened. He just kind of fell off the face of the earth and he was gone. He's just out of the business. Like, I worked with him for one day, and then he was gone the next. I don't know. But, that was Extreme. People came and went just like that. That's how they were. I don't know what happened.
Did you like wrestling growing up?
I loved it.
Really?
I loved Hulk Hogan. I loved the Junkyard Dog. Andre the Giant. Macho
Man Randy Savage.
Man, thank you. Macho Man. I loved all of it. Of course I watched. Of course I did. I'm an 80s baby. Of course. I loved it. So I was honored to wrestle. Well, I didn't wrestle. I valeted. Yeah. But I did take a few bumps. I've taken a few bumps. I have. I've taken a few. But I was technically a valet, so I don't want to take away from all the ones who wrestled. But I was never a wrestler, but I valeted, so... And I respect anybody who did wrestle and all the girls that did.
I always saw you more of a manager, because here's the thing. Okay, so valets just walk out to the ring. They don't get involved in the matches. They don't go bumping. They don't go doing promos, right? So you were with White Trash Johnny Webb?
I was. He was so good onto the mic. He was so awesome. And we connected, but we clashed. We connected, but we clashed. But he was always so great. He was so cool to me. But when I would do the shows, they would walk in the room and they'd be like, okay, Jessica, this is what you're going to do. And I'm like, what do you mean this is what I'm going to do? I don't even know what I'm doing. You're going to do this. You're going to walk in the ring. You're going to hit him with the cane. He's going to push you. You're going to fall off. And I'm like, I'm not going to remember any of this. Like, what are you talking about? And it was so hard because you had to remember everything. I screwed a couple times up. I screwed up a couple choke slams. I mean, I probably did. I probably did a couple times, but it was fun. It was a really cool experience, and I'm honored that I got to do that and be part of it. It was very cool.
I was just happy you
For
had
sure.
the Singapore cane, because I've basically brought back the Singapore canes. Now, I don't know if you know this, and Sandman showed me this once before. If you don't loosen it up, it means you probably don't like the person, because it hits a lot harder. If you loosen it up, it makes a lot better sound and it breaks a lot easier on the person. So did you ever loosen that thing?
I hit him pretty hard. I hit him hard. I remember we were wrestling with a Japanese guy that spoke Spanish, which was kind of strange. He didn't speak English, but he spoke Spanish. And he was wrestling as a web. And Webb said, okay, you're going to hit him with the cane. And I go, okay. And someone translated so in Spanish, and I was like, all right, cool. And I remember I had to hit him with it, and the sound was like, I think that hurt him. I really think that hurt him. And when I hit him, my hair got caught on it, and he ripped half of my hair out. And I remember going, oh, that really hurts, but I got to play it off. And I remember coming out and him coming up to me and being very polite and saying, thank you for wrestling, for doing the skit with me or doing whatever you did. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. I was so nervous that I hurt you. And he was like, no, that was great. I remember the match with Webb and Homeless Jimmy. I was scared to death for Jimmy because he didn't go through the table. They had to redo it. I'm terrified. I thought he was going to die. I really did. But he made it. Somehow, he made it. I don't know how, but
he's
he did.
Wrestling now.
I don't know how any of it.
He's wrestling.
Oh, he is?
Yeah,
really?
he came back to XPW. Have you seen the new XPW, like the levels of deathmatch wrestling now?
I've seen who they have. They have some really big guys. I just haven't seen it, but I'm sure it's going to be extreme because, of course, it's Rob Black, so I'd expect it to be very extreme.
Yeah,
I expect it to be.
It's deathmatch wrestling. It's like legit death matches. Ugh. This is all we do. Like there's blood in 7 out of 10 matches, right?
No, everyone's showing color. Yeah, I got the terms down. I got it. Gigging, showing color, bumps, heels. Baby face, I got it. I remember it from doing all them years. I remember it. It was cool though. I enjoyed it. I was very honored to get to do that. Yeah, it was very fun.
How did you meet Rob anyway? The initial the initial meeting, because everyone's got different encounters with him.
Okay, how did I meet Rob? I got to go back. I got to go back into the vault. Okay, I was signed to Elegant Angel. I was a Elegant Angel contract girl. That was, a nightmare in itself. But we'll get to that. And so Rob and Tommy, they directed for Patrick. So I had done a scene for Rob. I think it was with Tommy. And they got fed up, with Patrick Collins' crap and all his shit. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you could do anything you want. You could, yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure. Okay. I just want to make sure. So they got fed up with his shit, and they were like, screw you, Patrick. Oh, there's my cat again. So we're getting out of here. And so they decided to leave, and I stayed, which I shouldn't have. I should have gone to when they did, but I'm a person who stays way past the fact. And I went to Jim South's office, and I was looking for work, and Tommy was in the office, and he said, hey, come work for us over at Extreme. And I was like, okay. And so Rob was in his office. He was sitting on the floor. I'll never forget this. He was sitting on the floor with the yellow pads, and he's going, all right, Jessica, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make you a contract girl, and you're going to work for us, and we're going to be huge, and it's going to be great. And I was like, yeah, man, that sounds awesome. Let's do that. And that's how I got signed to Extreme and how I've been with him all those years. Yep.
Did I cross paths with you at any point? I know I must have been a bitch if we did, but did we ever cross paths?
No, you're always nice to me.
Oh, sorry.
No, you're always nice. Yeah. You're always nice to me. Yeah, you're always getting back.
Okay, but like I'm just
Um,
thinking, like I never remember wrestling with you. I remember Christy. Yeah.
no, no. We never did that together. I was there when you were contracted to Extreme. So you were contracted to when I was contracted. And we all went to dinner at one time. I remember that. And we had a really good time. It was a long, long time ago. It was like 20 years ago, like 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Couldn't tell you where it was. Couldn't tell you where we ate. But it was, I was there. So Rob was there. Tommy was there. Lizzie and Christy. And like everybody was there. So we went out to eat. I think Ashlyn Gear too was there and her husband. And we all went out to eat. I couldn't tell you where it was, but we all had a good time. And I had just gotten signed to Extreme, but you were already there. So I don't think we ever crossed paths. We'd see each other and be like, hey, and you know, coming through the office or something. But that was the extent of it. But I don't think we ever, you know, had like a true conversation. It's like that.
Now, your backstory, what even brought you into the adult film world? I'm just curious because I never knew your backstory. I just knew you're tiny. You're like what, 5'2", 5 what? What's the height?
I'm 5 foot. I used to be 100. Let's just say I'm bigger than that now, but you know I'm older. You know, people get curvier as they get older, but it's okay. I got curves on me now. It's all right. I can look at my old stuff. I'll remember that. I was a dancer, so back in Florida, and this is back when girls still wore the stilettos. That's how long ago it was. God. And I was dancing. Yes,
I missed that.
And I did too. Those are great years. And I was dancing at a club in Florida, and I had done some of the magazine work, like, oh God, what are those magazines?
There were
Night Moves or something.
Which one? Oh, Night Moves.
No, they were just
entertainment. There was South Florida. Those magazines, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, for that. So I did that. I did So Hustler. You know, things like that. I was feature dancing, you know, just within Florida. And I was always a fan of porn. So I was like, I'm going to go to California and I'm going to be a porn star. And if it worked out, great. If it didn't, of course, I would just go back to dancing. But it actually panned out pretty well. I was pretty happy with it.
That's interesting.
So, yeah.
Well, Florida's a great place to start.
Yeah.
That's where my manager was, Charlie Fry. So, Charlie was my manager. The first time I ever featured dance, it's Alexandria Quinn, who is this bustier porn star. She
I remember her.
You do?
Very well.
Okay, so I think she decided, she ended up in like a white straitjacket at the Foxy Lady in Fort Myers. I knew nothing about, I just knew what features were, but I wasn't there yet. So next thing you know, Charlie's on the phone. Like, I've never seen next level bullshit like this. He calls the owner. Yeah, well, it's your lucky day. Jasmine's just in town. She just came back from being crowned Miss Nude, whatever, Brazil. Yeah, it's your lucky night. Yeah, she'll fill in for her. Okay, click. We're going to the Foxy Lady. I'm like, for what? So this girl did some bad drugs or something, or maybe her suitcase pimp beat her up. I don't know.
Suitcase pimp. I love that term. Such a important term.
Yeah. So guys,
the suitcase pimp. I love it.
It's the best word. A suitcase pimp is a guy, okay,
who
lives off of the girl who's probably nothing, and he gets work off of her. So I show up at the Foxy Lady.
Yes.
I have to fit into her outfits, and this is before I had my boobs like really done, before I was 36 double D. I'm like struggling to fit in this girl's shit. I had maybe 2 feature outfits, but we pulled it off. That was my first time featuring in Florida. I know Florida was so much better for like just dancing in general.
Oh yeah, back in the day.
Where were you working?
Oh, let's go back. I worked at Stir Krazy, which is still there. Little hole in the wall. And then I worked at like Scarlett's, and then I worked at the Booby Trap. I'm going to go way back. I'm going to go way back to Diamond Dolls. I think that's closed now. Yeah. And then I went to Vegas for a while, danced in Vegas for a little bit. I featured for a little bit. It just wasn't, I didn't really get into featuring. I just mostly house dance in between doing porn and, you know, dancing. I tried featuring, and man, them house girls, they're mean. They're mean to you. They're just mean. And I'm like, hey man, I'm a dancer. I've been dancing for off and on for 30 years. Like, don't be mean to me. Like, I'm nice. They would like throw shoes at you. They would like curse you out. And I'm like, I'm just going to go and find myself a house club. I'm going to dance 2 days per week. Then I'm going to go back to do porn. So that's what I did. So I would travel to Vegas, dance 2 days, and I go and do porn. That's what I did for a while.
Well,
back when I was signed to Extreme.
when you tried to experience what?
Back when I was signed to Extreme, I would dance on Fridays and Saturdays and come back to shoot because it's Extreme, you know. You don't always get your check sometimes. Sometimes you did, sometimes you didn't. So I had to work, you know, dancing too. But it's all right. I stayed for almost 5 years, so I have no complaints. I still love Rob. Still do, to this day. Yeah.
See, this whole thing with the feature dancing, here's the ignorance of some of these girls. First and foremost, the ones that are bitching and complaining are in the dressing room. They're not on the floor making money. They have access to those guys more than we do. Because I'm out there for 10 minutes and another half hour to an hour doing Polaroids and stuff. So this is what I used to do. I did a wax show, and on purpose, I'd make sure the wax got on the stage.
Let them girls slip.
Fuck those bitches.
Stick on it.
We get lotion on the stage, right? Then once there was a shower head in one of those places, I snuck in and unscrewed it and put Vaseline in there. So you don't want to fuck with the feature, because chances are there's going to be that one that is total psycho.
That's
and
right.
that is it.
I used to play a game called Cooter Ball. So you would take the shot glass. I don't know if they still do it to this day. You take this shot glass and you put it between your legs, and then the guys throw dollars. So if they hit it, then they get a free Polaroid, you know, free stuff. And that was cool because guys would sit there for like ever and just throw them. And they would say, you know, Pat Benatar's hit me with your best shot. I was like, this is great. The good old days, back in the day. I haven't feature danced in, oh my God, I'll be 15, 23 years. I wouldn't even know what it's even is like today. I wouldn't know. I don't know what the girls are doing now.
Well,
are they still feature dancing?
They're doing more than that. They're doing private bookings, usually on their Instagram handle for private bookings, contact, you know, and then they're doing privates, which is fine, but like, it's really fucked. Okay, there are no more porn stars, first of all, as you know. You're a porn star, by the way.
No.
You really are.
No.
And
that's gone.
yeah, you are. I mean, the last
porn
were there. Like, that was it. And then these girls are glorified webcam girls is what I call most of them. They are glorified. I know you do OnlyFans, but you know, you have every right to have an OnlyFans platform because you have a following. People always ask about you. What are your thoughts on that? Like, are you catching on to it?
I'm learning. I'm too nice. I've learned I'm too nice because the girls who do good on there, they charge for everything. Look at my foot, $80. Look at my hand, $80. They charge for everything. I charge $8. This is it. I'm going to show you I'm going to wake up every day. Here's a picture of my tits. Here's my ass. Here's my foot. There you go. And I'm going to charge you $8 for it. But these girls, I mean, I looked at, there was some girl, what was it? One of them talk shows. Joe, what's his name?
She was on a talk show, you said, or what was this?
Joe Rogan. So he was doing this talk show. Some of these girls are making $50,000 a month on these damn things. I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know
if that's true.
I'm mind blown.
I don't know if it's true necessarily. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know if it's true, but if they're making it, God love them. God love them if they are, but it ain't me. I'm not.
You could
but
charge people
you know,
to join.
I still love
it. You could charge people to join, right? Okay, great. But then when they want stuff, you could charge the photo, but only make it visible if they pay the $9.99 because your tits are worth more than $8. I'm sorry, way more.
Yes, I need to start doing the. Hey guys, this is worth more than $8. I need at least 10 to start doing that. I don't know. I've met some girls, you know, through the years, and they're like, I'm a porn star. I'm like, oh, so who'd you work for? Do you work for Elegant Angel? Work for Vivid? And they're like, oh, no, I do my own stuff. I'm like, you're not a porn star. You're just some girl that does content. Please do not say that you're a porn star. You're not. You're not a porn star. We are porn stars. We are. We are the era of the 90s and the early 2000s. And you had to go out there and promote. You had to sell your DVDs. You had to sign Polaroids. I mean, we were back for VHS. We are porn stars. We are porn stars. You are an icon. You are a goat, which is a compliment to be goat, which is a compliment. And you have done a lot. And I was telling somebody I was doing your show, and they were like, I love her, Jasmin St Claire. She's my favorite. And I'm like, I will tell her. She's the goat. And I'm like, yes, she is. She is definitely the goat. If we walked into a room, people would be like, I know Jasmin. Who's that? I'm Jessica. I'm like, okay. But for sure. But we definitely were porn stars. We were stars. And it was it was great. It was something you took with pride. Today, I don't think there's porn stars today. And the porn stars today, they're just, I don't know. I don't like them compared to our time. I liked our time. We were all family and friends, and we hung out, and we all worked together. And, you had your occasional, I'm better than that one, I'm better than that one. You had that, of course. You had the Vivid girl. Oh, wait, okay. You had like some Vivid girls that, we're Vivid girls, or then you had us. We were like, well, I'm extreme. With me and Christy, we used to do signing together, and the Vivid girls always hated each other. They were always fighting. They were always arguing and didn't want to do anything. And me and Christy were like best friends, and we were like always hanging together. And I was like, I don't get this. How come they hate each other? But they did. But it was weird for us, because we were friends. And, but I guess different time, I wasn't a Vivid girl, I wasn't that, caliber,
no, you're more interesting. Plus,
know.
you had sex with actual guys. You didn't have sex only with your boyfriend and other girls like some of them did.
No.
Seriously.
I was doing anal for my first movie.
Ouch.
Like, I did anal for my first film. Yeah.
Well, wait, was that your first time doing anal in general? So if you're looking for the safest and coolest way to bet online, and the most variety, of course, of games and like almost anything you could bet on, stop by betonline.ag, because I guarantee you there is something for everyone.
No, I didn't. I was a wild girl off camera. No. But I had gone to Jim South's office, and I went there, to get my Polaroids done, because back then they did Polaroids of you. And someone called on the phone, and it was Ian Daniels. So Ian Daniels called, and he said, I love Ian.
He's in rehab right now.
Talk. He's such a good... Oh, fuck. No. I hope he does good for himself.
He's really in rehab. I legit talk to him on Facebook sometimes. It's really sad.
I love Ian. I love Ian. Like, he was my first scene. And so he had called Jim South, and he was looking for someone to replace a girl that didn't show up. It was me, Ian Daniels, and... Oh, God, I can't remember the old name. I feel terrible. She didn't last too long. She was in there for a very short time. And they were looking for somebody. And I said, I'll do it. And they were like, yeah, but you got to do anal. And I was like, I like anal. So I wound up doing it. And I remember getting there. And there was a bunch of actors and actresses. They were like very, you had the Misties, so the Mickey G's, a bunch of like the really big people, like the big wigs. And I remember that I'm sitting there, I'm like 21, and it's my first movie, and it's actually film. And I remember they're going, oh, so what are you doing today? And I'm like, oh, I'm doing a 3-way anal scene. And they're like, you're never going to last. You only have been in business like 2 weeks. And I was like, oh, really? They're like, people don't do anal for their first film. Never. And I was like, I guess I'm only going to be in the business 2 weeks. Okay. I wound up getting 2 contracts, so fuck that. But I remember walking away going, God, they're mean. But it's okay. I lasted a long time. Sorry. But I remember they were like shocked that I did it. I was like, I like it. I'll do it. Whatever. I was known as the okay girl. I did whatever they asked me. Hey, Jessica, do this. Okay. All right. I don't care. Okay. I was always known as that. Okay. I never turned anything down. I was like, okay. But I like the business. I miss it. I do miss it. I miss it all the time. I think about the old days of Extreme and, conventions and signings and AVN, even though I don't have my Hall of Fame, but I'll get over it.
Dude, really? That's like an award-winning asshole and pussy. So You should get it. I have my plaque.
Nope.
They gave me one like about 10 years ago. I got mine. I don't know where it is though. It's like if they have like so many people now in all these meaningless categories, right? And people are getting into the Hall of Fame who shouldn't even be there. Did you know AVN, like the expo, was in a tent this year? It was sponsored by FEMA probably, but it was in an outdoor tent, like like those event tents. And I guess like, how do you make the best of that? And then someone like Dominique Simone, remember Dominique? She's like a gorgeous African.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
She showed up. She's promoting her book. Okay. She showed up like all dolled up like we would in the 90s with the gowns and the hair and the makeup. People giving dirt like weird looks. They made her wait till the end of the line. Oh, well, you're too late to walk the red carpet. She's like, do you know who I am? I've been doing this for 25 years, honey. I've been coming here. You're not telling me I can't get in. I was like, whoa, like I would not have tolerated. That's for the red carpet to the show. And I couldn't believe it. And now content creators, they don't test, by the way. So there's always some kind of a new STD. Yeah, these are just content creators. So Joe Blow down the street with his webcam, who thinks he's hot shit, hooks up with Sally Jabroni down the street, Jadrul, and they do Jadrul.
You said Jabroni, throw that wrestling term out there. I say Jabroni.
These are Rob terms. Jadrul's like dropping.
Oh yeah, Jadrul. I say Jadrul all the time too. But I don't think, I'm not going, like, we have to move on with the times. And I understand that. But please, these girls today, do not think you are porn stars. We are porn stars. We were out there, I mean, we were hitting the, like, stores and, you know, promoting the hell out of our stuff and signing Polaroids and DVDs and VHSs. And it was an honor to be a porn star. And back then, porn stars didn't escort. And now they all escort. Not that I have an issue with it. I don't. Do what you got to do. You got to get paid. You got to do what you got to do. I don't judge anybody for how they make their money. But back when we were in the business, if you escorted, you were done. You were out of the business. And blackmail you. They would, nope, got to go. Now they're like, hey, I'm coming to Tampa. Woo, get some. You know, it's a whole different thing. And then I also heard that somebody had told me, I talked to a girl that was getting in the business, she had done a few scenes, that agents take 20% from your movies now, and you're not allowed, she said they take 20% from your scenes, and that you're not allowed to book so directly from the actual company. I remember that the companies would call me on the phone. Of course, you do well, you know what I charge. You know what the rate is. Well, you know, Jessica, I can't pay that. Well, you know I do good. And they go, yeah, I just can't pay that. Well, you got to find someone else. Of course, they call back 10 minutes later. Well, we worked the numbers. We can pay you. I'm like, yeah, I knew you could. You know this. You know how they do it. But I would talk to them, and then I would go to Jim South's office. I would drive down there, and I would say, hey, Jim, I'm working for this company, this company, this company, this company. And you would get paid for it, but you're not allowed to talk to the actual owners of the company. I'm like, what? I don't want to go through an agent. I want them to talk to me. I wouldn't laugh. I never cared for other agents. I always worked for Jim. And then you had all the other agents starting to come in, and they ran him out of that business. He was there for, 30 years, 40 years? They ran him out. They ran Jim South out. And I thought, man, he really cared about the girls. I had a time when I was working for Jim. I'm not sure who the company was, but they didn't want to pay me. They didn't want to pay me. And I had to pay rent or do something and, you know, like get bills paid or something. And Jim goes, no, Jessica, I'm going to pay you out of my pocket. And he paid me out of his pocket. And he goes, now I'm going to get on this phone and I'm going to call these people. And he said, listen here. If you don't pay Jessica, darling, you're not going to use any of my talent, you know, in Southern accent. And sure enough, I got paid, but I remember him caring and just being a decent guy. And then you had all the other agents that were they were like pimps. That's all they are. They're just pimps. Now, they don't care about the girls. And the girls do things to their bodies today that I don't even think is humanly possible. I guess it is because they do it. it's different. Hardcore now. It's
Yeah,
too
but we had
hardcore.
a lot of hardcore stuff going on. The first person I worked for was John T-Bone in the DP scene. It's just like,
Oh, I remember.
yeah, so you
Yeah,
have to think
yeah.
like these are
What?
these are the
Yeah.
times, and that's the first film. People are like, "Oh, so and so's going to blacklist you. So and so's going to blacklist you." Blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, fuck all you people. I think it was Felicia Ann. This is the best line ever. She's like,
Oh God, they're going
oh
back
yeah,
in the
she's like,
day.
well, have you seen what she says about other performers in the press? I'm like, I didn't even know you could read. Seriously, that is a miracle. Wow. Yeah, you're right. I was I haven't changed much. I'm more of a refined asshole though. What was the first movie you ever saw? Do you remember, and do you even remember who the performers were?
Oh God, for the first movie I ever saw, oh God, it's probably Jenna. Probably one of the Jenna movies. Oh yeah. Well, she was the it girl back in the '90s, so I'm sure it was Jenna, or maybe I always liked Chrissy Canyon. She always had big boobs. I always liked her big boobs. I did her podcast, or not a podcast. I'm not really, I'm not really down with all these terms, podcasts or radio shows. Yeah, for Vivid, uh, for Sirius. She didn't know who the hell I was. She was like, we got this '90s porn star here. I'm like, oh God, she didn't know who I am. Oh fuck, shit. I know who she is. I was like, I know who you are. You're Christy Canyon. You're like fucking awesome. She's like, I don't know who you are, but they say you were great. And I'm like, it's okay. That's fine. I was like so honored to be on with her. And she was just like, '90s porn star. Like, I was laughing about it because I thought it was funny. I was like, oh, fine.
Yeah. Well, and you know what?
But
OnlyFans,
it's
it's going
fine.
to take a while, but I think you could do really good. Just stop doing this shit for like next to nothing. I charge for mine, but I don't have
I
anything on there. I
know.
just recycle old photos, and if they're topless, it shows up in your inbox. You could schedule it out, and then you want to pay for it, fine. If
Yeah.
not, that's fine too. Whatever. I really don't care. But I don't do anything
Yeah.
on
I
it.
need to start doing that.
Yeah, because you can make money.
I got to do what you do.
People ask for you all the
I
time.
got to be like, listen, you're paying for it.
Yeah.
None of this freeloading shit. Just get it. You got to give me that $5.
No.
Because Jasmin said I need to.
But
I'm
you
doing
got
it.
to. And like everyone asks for you all the
I
time in
know.
wrestling. So I'm going to WrestleCon in April. And you remember Veronica Kane, right?
I love
Yeah.
Veronica. She wrote me the other day on Facebook. She wrote me, and I never check Facebook, for the messages. And I just don't, because I get so many perverts, and they're like, look at my dick pics. I'm like, oh, Jesus, God, that's horrible. So I never check it. And she had sent me a message saying that she was doing a wrestling
Yes,
gig
that's the one with
with
me.
like all the girls. And she was like, hey, Jazz, this is Veronica. Come hang out. I ain't paying you shit. We got an Airbnb. Come hang out, bitch. We're going to get this money. And I was like, damn it. I got it too late. I would have so gone. But she was like very frank. I ain't paying you shit. Come get this money.
She
I was
said
like, all right,
that?
fair enough. Yeah, she said it. She's right on my message. I'll just send
I
it to you.
just
She's
hung
like,
up the
we got to
phone
get
with her a
this money.
couple hours ago. I'm helping
Yeah.
her with it. It's in April, by the way. If you can come out, you just sell all your stuff.
I would love
You
to.
should come out because
I would
fans
love
are
to,
going to
yeah.
demand. They just come out. She has the Airbnb you could stay at. It's or maybe even just let you stay at her apartment. And it's in Philadelphia. That's a hardcore town, like with the hardcore wrestling.
I think that's maybe where it was, because she said,
Philly.
we're going to get this money, bitch.
I have to
Yeah,
talk to her
get
again.
this money.
And it's
I was like,
organized because it's her and I that are running the table. So we would have you there. You just sign your stuff. And I know guys listening.
Yeah,
would love
tell
it.
me when it is.
It's April 4th through 7th.
Yeah, definitely. You have my phone number. Just text me all the info. I'll definitely pay for a ticket. Come out and, as she says, get this money, bitch.
She
We can
said
do that.
that. I can't
We can
believe
get it.
that. Oh my God.
Yes. It's fine. We're going to get it. It's fine. It's all
I
good.
should know these things because I speak to her like almost every day. I should know this is,
I love her. She's great.
yeah.
She's great. She's very cool. Like, we did a lot of scenes together. And she was dating, what was his name?
Johnny Webb.
Johnny Webb. Thank you. I get old, I forget things. And they were always together. And I always wonder why they didn't put them two together. But I got stuck with the way, which is fine. But our personalities were like so different, and he was always like Like, he never was like, hey, Jessica, that was a good, like, you did well. He was always like, he just walked out of the ring. I was like, did I do okay? Did I do okay? And everyone was like, you did great, Jess, you did great. And, like, he would never tell me. He just like, yeah, whatever. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But, tell me something. But he was, I don't know, but she was always there. And then I quit. And I think she stayed. I think she stayed for a while. Yeah, she stayed. And I had to go. I had to go. There was just too much going on for Extreme. They were doing stuff I just didn't want to do. We kind of parted some ways. Then I became a free agent for about 3 years. Man, that was hard. That was hard trying to do that type of a hustle. And it was just too much on me. And then I walked on a set, and I forget who the guy was. I couldn't even tell you. I couldn't tell you who it was today because it didn't last too long. But we're doing a scene, and we're having a good time, and, the guy's like, cut, cut, cut. And I'm like, oh, okay, so we're going to cut. And I'm still like, doing what I'm doing to him. And he goes, excuse me, can you stop doing that? The camera's off. And I'm just like, oh, I'm sorry. And he's like, I'm a professional. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. And I got up, I got dressed, I walked out, and I quit.
Wait a second.
That was the last
wait, you were continuing to do whatever it was sexually. No, see, this is reverse Jasmin now. What he did to you is what I did to people all the time.
Yes, I was into it. And I was like, we're having a good time. And he was like, no, I'm a professional. You need to stop. The camera's off. And I was like, yeah, I'm done. I'm done with this business. I'm out of here. See you later. And I quit. Because I always said that if it became too much of a job, I was going to quit, and I quit. And I had a bunch of shoots still booked, and I was done. I remember doing scenes with Tommy, and Tommy we'd be banging in between the scenes, or me and like all the other guys. It was fun. Oh, yeah.
That is disgusting. Oh,
my
God. Really? That is no, that's fine.
I know. I know.
I just wasn't into all this stuff. Like you talk about an anal scene. I think there should be a candle made for the perverts out there, a candle scent, which is like of the enema and like that scent. You know what I mean? Like, remember when everyone did enemas and all that stuff? It's just that weird smell.
The lube, it's the lube, enema, and like baby wipes.
Yeah, and crap.
It's got that certain smell. Oh yeah. I can smell it now as I sit here. I can actually smell it. Yeah. Oh, the good days. Oh, I remember that. I miss the old days. I miss the old days of like, I knew the director, I knew the camera guy, I knew the lighting guy, I knew all the cast, I knew everybody. And we were all like family and friends. And then it became like, I don't know, we had like all these people coming in, and it wasn't as fun. And it was more like, it became kind of a job at that point. And I said, well, if it ever becomes a job for me and it becomes that, I'm just going to quit. And I had been in the business for almost 10, and I had done everything there was to do. I mean, I don't think there was anything left except for maybe geriatric, and I didn't want to do that. And I was like, I think I'm done. I think I had a good career. I had a good time. I won a couple AVNs. I'm the contract girl. I've made some good friends. It's time to go. I'll see y'all later. And I was just out. I didn't tell anybody that I retired. I just left. I just kind of, bye. And I was gone. And I don't know. I miss the old days now. I had thought about going back into it. And I was like, I would last 2 days in the business. I'd be done. I'd be finished, because they'd have me doing double anal or backflips, or no, I couldn't do it. No way. Today's porn is so different from our time. Like, I remember I did a tranny scene or female, or oh yeah. I did one for John, for John Stag John, for Evil Angel. So he had called me and he said, hey Jess, I want you to do a training scene. I was like, hell yeah, I'll do one. I'm like, whatever, I'll do whatever. So I did it with with Vanity, and she's super cool. Or he or she, female, she's super cool. She's a great person. We still talk these days. So I did a scene with her, and I remember that after I get done, everybody was like, I can't work with Jessica anymore. oh my God, she did a she-male. Oh, she did a she-male. Oh, that's terrible. And I was like, what are you talking about? I did a dude. What are you talking about? And everyone like gave me a bunch of shit and they didn't want to work with me and it was really hard. And Evil Angel was like, well, you can always work for us. And then I had some performers call me like, I'll always work with you. And then it kind of faded off and I started working again. But today, everybody's doing shit. Well, every girl's doing it now. You know, it's like I did it on like, oh, that's taboo. But back in the day, that wasn't a big deal. You know, today it's like everyone's doing it. But back then, it's not a of. You know, it's, gangbangs. Girls weren't doing gangbangs. You were doing gangbangs. You were doing things that girls weren't doing.
Yeah.
You know, you were breaking all the rules and you were doing stuff people didn't do. And that was great. That was cool. That was cool back then. You were doing stuff no one else was doing, and that was great. And nowadays, no one's breaking anything. They're just doing the same shit everybody else is doing. So you don't have that. You know what I mean? You think of like the old days, I think of gangbangs. I think of you. I think, I think of you. I do. I think of you. I think Jasmin did one of the biggest ones. She's famous. She was great. You know, awesome. I think of Houston, and I think of Annabelle.
Annabelle was cool.
Well, you know, she did that.
Houston's a fucking cunt. Did I just say that?
I never met him, but I think of the Houston 500 or whatever. But I think of those three girls. Those are what I think of. And I think of Stephanie Swift when she did the gangbang for Rob, and she was licking all those assholes. So that's an image that I will always have. But I think of you four, and I think now those four girls, they broke the rules.
Well, no,
they broke the rules.
I broke them bigger because I had more press. Houston just followed suit. She didn't break any rules. She's just like, she's just whatever.
She followed.
Yeah, exactly.
She followed.
Yeah, see, thank you.
But you guys did, but you guys did things that you will always, you know, be famous for because you did something other girls didn't do. And the girls who come after you, they're never going to compete with you. That's because you did something that people didn't do. And that was awesome. That was, you know, very cool. It was like me doing anal for my first scene. Now everybody does anal. You know, it's a different time. It's just, I don't know.
I'd probably get canceled if I was in the business today. I think I don't really get scared to get canceled. Like, Rob, we know how crazy Rob gets with his ideas, right? So he came up with this whole mega MAGA faction for me to manage, which is fine. But at first, it was really like people really hated it, but everyone now loves it because it's just so different than everything. Plus, I've never worked with Necro Butcher. I just knew he was a deathmatch legend and he has a strong punch to the face. Not that I want the punch, by the way, I just, So I've never been one to try energy drinks for too long because they're always really sugary. They amp you up. But I decided to try Tiger Life. That's TIGERLYFE. And no, it doesn't have anything to do with Joe Exotic. TigerLife.com. They have an amazing energy drink. No sugar added. It's completely clean energy. It's made here in America. And they have a couple of really cool flavors. It actually has cane sugar in it, which is pretty good, but 0 sodium. So that means you will not get bloated. This definitely amps me up. Sometimes I do it when I'm about to do my live stream or if I just need a boost in the middle of the day. So Tiger Life, have some and make sure to put in the code Jasmin, JASMIN, for free shipping.
No. But you'll do it if you have to. You'll do it, but you don't want it.
Well, I beat people with that Singapore cane if they don't sell for him. We were in Japan, and there was a problem. The spot was planned prior. Okay, so it was a bucket filled with broken glass, and one of the people we were working against, they were going to get it, right? They decided to not do it and start running and running. I just chased them back into the ring with the cane. They went running back.
You're doing it. You're doing it. I give it to Rob. He pushed all the envelopes. Like he did. Like he pushed it. He was like, how far can we go? We're going to go over that line. And that's what was great about them. Like he pushed it and he pushed it and he pushed it. And there was a time that they were like right up there with Vivid. Like they were right up there. Like they were up on the top. And I don't know. Like he was the bad boy of porn, He was Rob Black. But he's still Rob. He's Rob. Like, I love Rob. I'll always love Rob. Like, he could, like, if he walked in the room, he would say something to me. I would break out, he would make me, he'd laugh. and I would cry. And he's just, I don't know, like he's Rob. He's such a good guy to me. And I think we've gone through, I mean, so much together. I mean, there was so much. Like even after I quit them, I was supposed to sign for Seymour Butts. That's who I was going to sign with at the 2004 AVN. And so Rob called me, like, listen, Jeff, I need you to sign with me. And I'm like, Rob, I'm going to sign for Seymour Butts. I'm going to get on the big stage over there. And he's like, nah, you got to sign with me. And I'm like, yeah, I get paid $150. And I'm like, oh, God, I'm taking a pay cut and I'm staying at the Harrah's. This sucks. But I did it. I did it. And I remember I was signing, and what is her name? She's still in the business. She became quite big. Vicky.
Oh,
Vet,
yeah. I love
like
Vicky.
She was like,
yeah.
Vicky Vet. Yeah, she was there. And I remember, and she showed up and she was like, so we're going to be signing together. And I was like, all right, that's cool. And she was like, I'm going to sit over there. And I said, no, I'm going to sit there. She just, no, I'm sitting there. I go, listen, I may not be contracted, but I'm the OG. Move over there. And I remember Rob goes, oh, Jessica. And I said, no, if you want me to sign, I get the big seat. So he moved her over. But she was very sweet. She was a really nice girl.
Really? That's what you I just would have made her cry and make her get her the fuck up. Because I've done that to people before.
You need to move.
No, what did you? I would have.
I'm getting a $150. You're moving.
Get your fucking skanky ass up. Pick up by the chair. You don't want to go, okay, fine. And just push her off. I didn't go that far.
She moved.
But I know my first year.
She wasn't happy about it.
Yeah, well, the first year signing, not for Rob, but for my very first AVN. Of course, I'm not used to all this shit, right? I know that I made some girl cry that was signing next to us at like the Metro booth. I didn't give a fuck who it was.
Oh God, Metro.
Well, that's my first contract was with. Oh, it was some girl. She had hemorrhoids, and she was saying that that the makeup artist, who's this little gay guy, was helping her stick it back in her ass. I'm like, wow, you really are white trash. It's totally what they say this business is. It's like coming to the trailer park and you people dress up. So she got really upset and was crying and was back in her room. I didn't mean to make her cry. It's just one of my Jasminisms you got to do, like you got to do the Jasminisms or you don't live.
Well, sometimes you have to stand, let you go on the set. I can't remember. I was supposed to work with, God, I'll never be able to remember his name. I'll never, like some guy. And I was supposed to work with somebody else. And they were like, okay, Jess, well, like he's not going to be able to like do the scene today. And I was like, I'm not working with this guy. And they were like, but you have to. And I was like, I'm not doing it. And Drew, what was her name? Drew something. She was a porn star back then. And Barry, something. Like she was a popular girl. No, wait, thank you. Yeah. And she goes, Jessica, like you should do the scene. And I said, listen, why don't you do the fucking scene since you need to work so fucking bad? You go fuck up. I'm not doing it. I'm out of here. Give me my kills me. I'm done. And they were like, Jessica, I said, it's my right. It's my body. I'm out. You told me I was working with this guy. I'm not working with this guy. This guy grips the whole time. I'm not doing that while I'm doing it. I'm out of here. And he's gripping. He couldn't get his dick hard.
Poor bitch. That's the easy payday. That's the easy payday. Then you get your payday. You go home. I used to sit there and look at my nails. I'm like, all right, I've got to get to my nail appointment.
Stunt dicks. Remember those dicks?
Shit like that.
My stunt dicks? I remember the stunt dicks where you had to like bring somebody else in. Because the one guy couldn't get his dick hard. They're like, oh, we got to bring a stunt again.
They just release everyone. Okay, go home. She's just being herself, and we'll just come back and try this again tomorrow.
Oh, no. I had stunt dicks. It was like, we're going to bring this guy in, Jess. And I'm like, their dicks are totally different. It'll be fine. We'll edit it. It'll be fine. I'm like, okay, I guess I'm here. We're going to do it. But I tell people all the time, they're like, well, how do they stay hard? I'm like, the blue pill, baby. It's Viagra. Thank God for it, because we were there before it. But we had to do everything back then. Yeah. Guys didn't have all that stuff. We had to do it. It was me. Are you ready yet? No? Okay, let's keep going. Try this again. It was such a different time than it is now, Viagra and these. And now the guys are like chiseled gods, like not back in our day.
Some of them were, though. I don't know, not the ones that Rob had, but it was like Luchano. But I do know something. If you ended up working with Earl Slate and he had problems, I'll tell you what I did. He used to use as penis.
I worked with him one time.
Did he have problems that day?
Well, God, that was like my fourth movie. I couldn't tell you.
I
I don't
fucked with his
remember.
injections that he was doing. I emptied it out and put bacteria stat water
Okay.
in it instead of like whatever that stuff is that's supposed to make you erect. And he didn't die. Well, he did die. Well, whatever. Like recently, but not like because of me, really. Yeah, but
I love it.
not because of me.
I'm the dick. I'm addictive, so I
No,
like. Do you remember?
I just sent him over the edge back into drinking. That's the only thing I've ever done is in that relationship was he started drinking again.
Do you remember? Did you remember hearing the story about for Luciano
That was because
shot
of
up his
me as
dick in
well,
Brazil?
partially. That was Earl that brought the stuff. I'll tell you what happened to Luciano. So Earl was, they were doing this.
Oh, when he was in Brazil?
I was
Oh my
there,
God.
and then he was giving him, he gave him too much of that penis injection, right? This is a Luciano story.
Oh,
Then it was, I had an
God.
argument with Luciano that day. It was something stupid. I said, I hope your dick falls off. You're so fucking stupid. So I called him a loser. And then within 24 hours, it almost did fall off. He had to go to the hospital.
Oh, I remember it. It was like I was back in LA because we went to Brazil maybe 6 months after, and we had fun, for that trip. But I remember being in the office, and they were like, "Luce's dick, like it was hard for like 24 hours. You had to go get it cut." And I'm like, "That's not going to be good. He's never going to be able to work again." And they're like, "No, I think he's all right." And I'm like, "I don't know, man. This doesn't sound good. This sounds like shit." I remember how like crazy it was. I didn't know that you were there during the. I just remember how like crazy it was, and then like I worked with him afterwards, and I'm like picking his dick. I'm like, "So can you tell?" And he was like, "Stop looking at it, just come on, let's do the scene." I'm like, "I gotta know. Is it gonna look different?" It's like, "Shut up, just do the scene." And I'm like, "Okay." But yeah, that was crazy. It was just
Brazil was
crazy times. The Viagra.
That was just crazy in general. Like with Rob and Brazil, it was a really crazy recipe. Then they had to kick Earl out and like send him back to LA because he started drinking. I wonder how and who drove him to do that. So then Tom yelled at him at dinner. He's like, you get the fuck out. And yeah, so Earl went to the whorehouse and he spat in someone's face. Then he came up to the room. He started throwing bottles at me. I got into a fist fight with him. I had to stay in Tommy's room, and then they had sent him back on a plane to LA the next day. And he sat with Ashlyn on the plane. Ashlyn's like, "Get this grief away from me." But I mean,
Oh, Ashlyn, dear.
she was classy, very pretty.
I remember when she got contracted. We were like, "Ooh, she's gonna be the classy lady." And I remember when so they contracted to Christy, and she walked in the room, and I was like, "I'm fucked. She's so fucking hot. She's gonna be a bitch. I know it. We're gonna fight. We're not gonna like each other." And she goes, "Hi, I'm Christy," and I go, "Hi, I'm Jessica." And she goes, "How are you?" And I go, "I'm good. How are you?" And we became best friends. And we were best friends for years. And no one could understand how close the two of us, were. And we did signings together. We traveled together. We did everything together. We went to Brazil together. Tommy got his wallet stolen from a prostitute. And, it's good time. Just good time. But when I was signed to Elegant Angel is when I was not happy until I got to Rob. When I was signed to Elegant, like I was barely getting paid per month. I was doing 7 scenes per month. He cut off all of my hair. He put this little pixie cut on me. He would never put me in good hotels. I'd have to stay in the worst hotels. He would give me this little paper, and he would go, "All right, Jessica, this is where you're staying. And this is how much you can spend on food. And if you go over, it comes out of your paycheck." I had like $30 to spend. I'd stay at these shitty hotels. And I was signing at Sex World. And this is like the final time that I finally told him I'm done. I went to Sex World, and I get there, and the guy picks me up, and I give him, the paper where we're going. He goes, "This is where I'm supposed to go." And he goes, "Okay." So he's driving. We're going like the worst part of town, and it's right by a soup kitchen. And he goes, "I can't bring you here." And I go, No. I can't afford to go somewhere else. This is my hotel." He goes, "I can't put you here." And I go, "You can't put me somewhere else. He's going to take it out of, my paycheck. I barely get paid as is." He goes, "Listen, I'm going to pay for it. I'll put it onto my credit card." And I said, No, please, Patrick will take the money out. And he goes, "I'll pay for it." And I remember going home and going, fuck you, Patrick, I quit. And I quit. I walked in his office, I said, fuck you. And he took me to Budapest. He stayed in a 5-star like hotel, put us in some type of like apartment into the seedy part of town. I had to share a bed with the camera guy.
Ew.
That's how bad it was. No, yeah, it was a very big bed, so thank God we had our own side. But that's how cheap the man
I had no idea Patrick Collins was such a scumbag. Like I could tell like some of the stuff they were doing. Like I had no idea Elegant Angel was that low rent. Like I never worked for them, but I heard bad things. I think I met him once. But, I mean, to treat girls like that, especially like to put one of your performers up in a shitbag hotel. What if it gets broken into and like something happens? Like I when I was featuring, so a few times they tried to put me in weird places. I'm like, I call the club. I'm like, yeah, this is Jasmin St Claire. I'm at the Hilton. You're paying for it. I'll see you at 8:00 for my show. Click. And like, that was it. And that's what they should do.
Oh, Patrick lost all of his girls. He had all these great girls. He had like Coral Sands. He had Tiffany. I think he had he had Stephanie Swift. Yeah. He had all these great girls. And they were like they were high-end girls. They were like top-tier girls. And I came in. And then, Stephanie left. She was like, fuck this, I'm out. Tiffany left. And Coral Sands left. And I was like the last one because I was like, oh, I'm a loyal person. I'll just stick it out. And he abused me. Like, you got to shoot 7 days. You guys do 7 scenes. Then you got to do these signings. And then you can't go over this amount. And you can stay in this hotel. And he didn't let me get the money. And he didn't let me keep it. Like, he was a real piece of shit. I don't like Patrick Collins. I never will. I never have. If I see him, I might punch him. I gotta be honest.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And, I'll wait for you.
I don't like him. And I know that the Rob doesn't like him. I know Tommy doesn't like him. And as bad as the whole thing is, I would never got to go to Rob and Tommy. So I guess it worked itself out. I got to go with them. So I met them and went to Extreme. So I've always been with Rob and Tommy, since Elegant. So I guess we've always kind of been family all these years. We just been family. And I hope I did it right on Dark Side of the Ring. I wrote Rob that. I said, Rob, I hope I did you right. I didn't go on there to make you, seem bad or to look bad. I refused to. And I told him that as soon as I walked on the set. I said, listen, I'm going to do this, but I'm not going to say anything bad about him. I'm not going to talk bad about him. So if you're trying to get me to do that, okay, then I'm not going to do that. And they were like, okay, Jessica. And they tried to, and I said, I'm not going to say anything bad about Rob because I had a good career with Rob. I didn't have a bad time with Rob, I didn't have a bad falling out. We just had different paths. I needed to move on. Sometimes you have to move on for your career. That's just the way it is. But I love Rob. I love Rob to this day. I think he's one of the funniest people I've ever got to meet. He's funny. He's a good man. He's great. He's the ultimate deal, just like I said. I told him over at Dark Side of the Ring, I said, all Rob's going to do is take this publicity and start back XPW.
Well, what did he do?
That's all he's going to do.
What did he do?
That's what he did. And that's what he did.
He totally did.
He's always been able to do that. He did that. And I'm very happy that he did that. I'm happy he's successful. But I thought some of the people on that show were real shitheads to Rob. I thought they were. I thought they were real assholes. I didn't, say anything that was bad. I kept it very, simple. I told some great stories about Rob. I told some, awesome stories when I told the story of when I was shooting, and I have a speech impediment, so I stammer and stutter, and that's fact. Everybody can read that. That's just the way it is. And I never did acting, and that was why I signed to Extreme, because I couldn't really do dialogue. And so Rob always made sure that he wouldn't give you a bunch of acting, because he knew I couldn't do it. And so we were doing this, scene, doing a promo, I think, for wrestling. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't get the words out. I just couldn't do it. I kept pausing on it and stuttering on it, and I just got so frustrated, and I tore out of the room, and I went in the bathroom, and I slammed the door, and I'm crying. And Rob comes in, He comes to the bathroom and he goes, Jessica. And I go, Rob, I just can't do it. I just can't do it. I just can't get the words out. I just can't fucking do it. You know I stutter. And he goes, Jessica, I'm never going to make you, be bad on camera. I'm always going to be there for you. And I remember telling that story and crying and him hugging me. And that was, that's a memory that I had. I'm sure that Rob will never say it. He'll be like, oh, I never did that. Because he didn't want to show the salty side of him. But he does have a soft side, and he's a good man. And I told that story on Dark Side of the Ring. They didn't tell that story about Rob. No, they wanted me to talk about all the bad stuff and all this. I said,
yeah.
No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to do that. But what's his name got on there, and he was, what was his name? The one who said that he edit like porn for them. That guy never edited for stream. That guy on there. I was like, I never saw him. And that other guy with Supreme, that never happened. I mean, Supreme never, did all that type of stuff. I thought they did him dirty. I didn't like how they did him. I thought it was dirty. I thought it was really dirty how they did Rob. I was like, you guys were there. I remember them going to the office and going in the ring and hanging out. And they were treated fine. And we all hung out. And I didn't understand. And then Billy's up there, oh, I'm treated so terribly. And all these girls are coming on to me, Billy. I slept with you. I slept with you, Billy. Please, give me a break. And I said it right on camera. And I was like, I slept with him. Who cares? He got around. Everybody did. It was poor, big deal. So, like he was, like he acted like he never did anything. And I was like, I slept with you. Stop. Just stop.
It's Vice TV.
So what have you been up
to? But it's Vice. This is what, what I'm saying is it's Vice TV. This is what they do. Just the podcast, and I did a slew of acting right after wrestling. Then I got into like heavy metal interviews for a while, doing that. And then when Rob called me 2 years, it's been 2 years, 2 years ago for California, I went and I just stayed. And, they weren't sure what to do with me. The necro butcher's like, why don't you just put her with me and we'll figure something out? And that's like, how the whole thing is. And I like doing it because it's fun. I get to dress up, and then I get to have the big hair for the night and everything, and beat the shit out of someone with the Singapore cane, which is the best part of it, because I can't do that in public really. But it's been like a good time just podcasting. Then I have my live stream Mondays, doing appearances. I've been very blessed and grateful to have that in my life. A lot of people take it for granted.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've been able to stay in this.
That's great.
And like
you deserve all your success. Yeah. You deserve it all. I'm happy. I'm stoked to be on this. I was so excited. I was so excited to promote it, and I was so stoked to be on. I felt terrible when you had called me that Saturday, and I was like, oh fuck. I didn't know. I wrote it for the 17th. Holy shit, I'm getting old. I forget. Like, I haven't done too many podcasts and, really done this, because this is something different for me. And, it's new for me, getting out there into the world of technology and the internet and all that goody stuff. So
you're doing better than you think.
Cool connecting.
And like, I know what you're up to now. You have your OnlyFans. What else are you doing? Like, where else do you promote? Like, what else are you doing besides OnlyFans? What else would you promote? You have your social media, right? What's your social media?
I have my social media. I have Instagram, Jessica Darlin, Twitter, X, whatever, Jessica Darlin. I'm a gamer. I play video games a lot. I'm a gun person. I'm a big 2A person. So I shoot a lot of guns. I'm in Texas, baby. Woo, 2A state. Yeah. Yep. Love my guns. I got my AR, got my AK. I got them all. I don't know. That's really it. I bartend a couple days per week, and I got to get out there, with the people, but I'm mostly just on the internet, connecting with all my fans and, doing podcasts, here and there. So I'm getting back out there slowly. I did a C in 2020. Okay. I did it for my OnlyFans.
And I hope you charged.
There's no anal.
I hope you charged. Okay,
I did.
Thank you. I just want to make sure.
I made them pay. No, they paid for that. That wasn't free. But that was a pain in the ass. Calling talent, getting them to show up, doing this, doing that. And then you sell it. They're like, oh, there's no anal. I'm like, no, there's no anal, because I'm retired. I don't have to do it now. When I was in the business, that's all you did was anal. Every movie I did was anal. DPs, anal. DP's anal. So if I don't have to do it all the time, I don't have to do it all the time.
We can AI you. We can AI you then.
Oh, do you see that? There's AIs that are doing their own, like, OnlyFans. It's wild. And these chicks are freaking hot. And they're like hot
They're
ladies.
not real. They're AI. I post those photos of those cats every day working out, the pussy pics as I call them. Someone told me to call my therapist because I keep posting these crazy memes of cats. They're AI, but they're cute, right? It's cats working out. It's cats.
They're great.
Bikinis.
It's such a different time. But I will say this for the porn stars today. They're not very friendly. I will say that. Because when COVID happened, I had to find something to do because I was bartending then. So I had been completely retired. I moved to Texas. I was bartending. I was, doing signings here and there, like every once in a while, I would do something. But I was talking to Jezebel Bond, told me about OnlyFans. He told me about Sex Panther. So shout out to Jezebel Bond. I love you. Thank you. She's a great person. She deserves her Hall of Fame, too, which she has not gotten. She deserves it as well. So she told me, she said, hey, Jess, go do OnlyFans. Go do Sex Panther. I was like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, but okay. So I gave her the referral, so she makes the money. So that's good. She makes money off it. But I remember that I contacted like 3 or 4 porn stars on Instagram, and then I followed them on their OnlyFans, and I was like, hey, I'm Jessica Darlin. I was a former dark film actress, time, contract girl, can you please help me? Maybe like give me some pointers on what to do and how to do this. And I tell you what, they didn't even like write me back. And I thought, man, if they can't even write someone back who's a former adult film star, they must treat their fans like shit.
Jessica, I could put you in touch with someone that'll help you that does this all the time. And she's also a gamer. She's a newer girl, but I'm friends with her. She's in Canada.
Right on.
I'll put you in touch with people that will help you. Like Ava Divine would help you. Girls like that. These newer girls, I don't know what the fuck is up their asses with your little TikTok videos and stuff. You have them giving sexual health advice on TikTok. You don't even know anything. Like, it's like you probably smell super bad and have an infection there from like 20 days ago. I know that's rancid. But it's been good catching up with you. I had to do this.
I had a great
too, but I hope so. I'm gonna let Veronica know about WrestleCon and give us your OnlyFans.
Leah, get that money,
yeah, bitch. You better make that money, ho. Get your ass up here, motherfucker.
Get that money, bitch. We don't get it.
Well, there's an amazing show. What? No, there's a show Thursday night.
I want to send you.
You're gonna what?
Yes, please send me all the info. I'll send you the message that you sent me so you can listen to it.
I gotta see it.
I'll find a way to get it so you can listen to it. You gotta hear it. It's great. She's like, hey, girl, come get this money. We're gonna stay at an Airbnb. I ain't paying you, but you're gonna come and get this money, bitch. Hot girls. I'm like, yeah, man, that sounds great. Let's do it. So, yeah.
And Thursday night, there's a show, a metal and like wrestling show together. So I'm sure that, that would be another opportunity. They'll just let you set up, but we're probably going to do that. We're going to set up.
I just want to get out of the house.
Well, even if you come in Friday.
I'm excited to get out of the house.
Just come out of the house.
Yeah.
Leave the pussy there.
I'm excited to
come out.
I live the pussy. Oh, you got to live the pussy. Yeah, I get someone to watch the pussy. Got to pay someone for it. She's clingy. But yeah, I'll pay someone to watch the pussy. But yeah, I'm totally down. So, give me the info. I'm down to go. I'm down to hang out with the girls and just get out. Yeah, for sure.
This is perfect.
I'd love to do it.
Well,
yeah, right
don't be a stranger. Cool. You have my number now. So let's stay in touch.
Of course. I'm going to harass you.
I want you to.
And send you texts all the time now. I'm going to send you texts and all types of stuff. But definitely keep in touch. And, yes. Let's do this. Let's get this money.
And send me gun photos because I love gun photos.
Oh, girl, I got lots of them. I got an AR. I got all types. I got a shred. I got a shotgun. I got everything. I'll send them all to you. I got a bunch of guns for sure. I'll send them all to you. Perfect.
You have a lovely Saturday night and sit tight.
You too. All right. Bye. Nice to meet you.